is preparation for partial veneer crowns part 2. So in previous lecture we will discuss in part 1 the partial veneer coverage crown on the posterior teeth, the premolars, and we had also discussed the different types of partial veneer crown in posterior teeth like 3/4 crown, reverse 3/4 crown, 7/8 crown, and mesial half crown. So, first of all, what is the rationale for the partial coverage crown? The rationale is like intact surfaces of the tooth structure should not be covered by the crown if the inclusion of this part is not essential for retention, strength, and aesthetic. So, if there is the labial or the buccal surface of the tooth is intact, or any surface of the tooth is intact, so we will not include that surface in the partial coverage crown, and mostly we will not include the buccal or the labial surface. But in some clinical cases, like in reverse 3/4 crown, like we not include the palatal or the lingual surface, and we will include the buccal or the lingual surface. But more than 90% of cases, we will not include the buccal or the labial surface for the aesthetic reason. So, what are the advantages for the partial coverage crown? The main advantage for the partial coverage crown is the conservation. This is the most important advantage for the partial coverage crown and is the conservation. So, less destruction of the tooth structure as compared to full veneer because we will not prepare one surface of the tooth that is buccal or the labial surface. So, second advantage for the partial veneer crown is accessibility to the margin. Like finishing by the dentist is very easy and maintenance by the patient is also very easy. So that is called accessibility to the margins. So third advantage for the partial coverage crown is the periodontal health maintenance. So less restorative margin in proximity to gingiva because in partial coverage crown we will provide supragingival finish line. So it is easy by the dentist to finish it, and it is easy for the patient to keep it clean. So there are less chances for the periodontal problems. So the fourth advantage for the partial coverage crown is easy seating during cementation. The fifth advantage is the visualization of the margins and verification of the margin seating. It's very easy. And the sixth advantage for the partial coverage crown is pulp vitality testing. So we can able to do the pulp vitality test easily on the tooth of partial coverage crown. So partial coverage crown are not as retentive as full coverage crown because we will not include one surface of the tooth. So that is why it is partial coverage. So it is not more retentive as compared to full coverage crown. So then what we will do to provide retention, then we will incorporate certain features. The most important feature in the partial coverage crown is the proximal grooves. So proximal grooves will provide retention in the partial coverage crown. So we design a partial coverage crown to provide a groove, and mostly we will give the V-shaped grooves or concave grooves. So V-shaped grooves will aid the 68% of the retention, and concave groove will aid in the 57% of the retention. So this is another important point, like the shape of the shape of the groove. So the posterior wall of the groove, like this is the posterior wall you see in the picture A, it should resist or it should provide retention. Okay, if in picture B you see if the posterior wall becomes oblique in picture B, so it will not provide retention to the partial coverage crown. So in picture 3, you see when we made a groove, there is a thin lip of enamel left behind. So in that area, we will provide the proximal flare to provide the fracture of the, to prevent the fracture of the enamel surface. So in picture D, you see if you provide the groove on the lingual, more lingual, then it will not provide retention and it will damage the tooth and it will involve the pulp. So now we will discuss the part 2. In part 2, we will discuss the partial coverage crown on the anterior tooth. So anterior 3/4 crown preparation. So in previous lecture, we had discussed the partial coverage crown on the posterior teeth, premolars, and we also had discussed the different design variations in the posterior teeth, reverse 3/4 crown, 7/8 crown, mesial half crown. So today in today's lecture, we will discuss how to prepare anterior tooth for partial coverage crown. So the disadvantages of partial coverage crown in anterior teeth: unsight of metal display. So metal will show off from the mesial and the distal margin. Okay, this is the disadvantage for the partial coverage crown. As you know that we made a partial coverage crown in all metal material. Okay, so the metal will show from the mesial and the distal aspect. This is the most important disadvantage, that unsightly metal display. So the second disadvantage is difficult preparation than full veneer. Obviously, it is difficult to prepare and it's rarely done. These are the disadvantages for the partial coverage crown in anterior teeth. So selection criteria is very much important. So which tooth you will select for the partial coverage crown in anterior region, that the tooth will be well aligned, it should be thick enough, it should be square, and anterior teeth are most suitable candidates. So these are things. So selection criteria is very much important to provide a partial coverage crown in anterior region, because anterior region is aesthetic region. Okay, so we will select the tooth which is well aligned. Okay, we select a tooth which is thick enough. Okay, and it's in square. So the factors for limiting the metal display, like path of insertion and groove placement, is very much important in the display of the metal, and placement and instrumentation of extension. So we will discuss now. So path of insertion is very much important. Like in when we provide the partial coverage crown for the anterior teeth, the path of insertion should be parallel to incisal one third to two third. Okay, incisal one third to two third of the labial surface, and not to the long axis of the tooth. As you see, the anterior teeth are present in two planes. So incisal half in different plane, cervical half in different plane. Cervical half is more near to the long axis of the tooth. So when we design the tooth preparation, the path of insertion should be parallel to incisal one third to two third of the labial surface, not to the long axis of the tooth. So groove have slightly lingual tilt. So how we prevent the metal display? We will provide a groove with a slightly lingual tilt, with a base more apical and labial, making grooves longer. So if grooves are inclined labially, for example, if we provide a groove with the labial inclination, the labio-incisal corners are undercut and there is more chances of displaying the metal. So that is why we will provide the lingual groove, we will provide the proximal groove with little lingual tilt. So proximal extension placed within the thin diamond with lingual approach to minimize the metal display. So now we will start the preparation. We will start the preparation with the lingual reduction. So lingual reduction, all of you know that we are using the flame shape burr or wheel shape burr, and we will reduce the lingual surface, follow the anatomy of the tooth structure. So the area between the cingulum and the incisal edge, we will reduce with the flame shape burr, and for metal we will reduce 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is sufficient. And the area above the cingulum, then we will use a torpedo burr, because here we have to provide the chamfer finish line, because the partial coverage crown we will made in all metal. So for all metal the finish line be chamfer finish line. So we made chamfer finish line with the torpedo burr. So for lingual reduction, we will reduce lingual surface 1 millimeter. The area between the cingulum and the incisal edge we will reduce by the flame shape burr or a wheel shape burr. And the area above the cingulum we will reduce with the torpedo burr with a vertical lingual wall and provide the chamfer finish line. So when you have done with the lingual reduction, okay, then you will reduce the incisal edge. Okay, reduce the incisal edge, like 1 millimeter is sufficient, zero point 0.7 to 1 millimeter is sufficient. So done it with the flat side, the needle bar parallel to the inclination of the undercut incisal edge. 0.7 millimeter depth groove you will provide, and you will reduce 1 millimeter. 1 millimeter is sufficient. So lingual axial wall reduction, you see now the lingual axial wall, as you see in this picture, this is the lingual axial wall. So this wall you will prepare with the torpedo burr. because we are providing the chamfer finish line. So again and again, I am telling you that this partial coverage crown we will made in all metal. So for all metal, the finish line is chamfer finish line. So for chamfer finish line, we will use torpedo burr. So now lingual wall reduction, reduce it with the torpedo bar, placing parallel to the incisal two-third. Chamfer finish line should be there, and in case of short cingulum, wall length can be increased with a lingual bevel shoulder. So when you have done with the lingual reduction, when you have reduced the area between the cingulum and the incisal edge with the flame shape bar, then you have will reduce the incisal edge. And when you have done the lingual vertical wall preparation with the chamfer finish line, then you will reduce the proximal surface. So first of all, break the contact. If adjacent teeth are present, break the contact with the needle bar. Then you reduce the mesial and the distal surface 1 millimeter, and provide the chamfer finish line. For that purpose, you are using torpedo bar. So now when you have done with the lingual preparation, when you have done with the incisal reduction, when you have done with the proximal reduction, mesial distal reduction, 1 millimeter all around, and provide the chamfer finish line, then you will start providing the special features. Okay, they are special features which will incorporate in the preparation for the partial coverage crown. So what are those features? Like proximal groove is very important feature. It will provide retention. Okay, then we will provide proximal flare, then we will provide incisal offset. So for posterior teeth we called it occlusal offset, for anterior teeth we called it incisal offset, and in the end we will provide incisal bevel, and for posterior teeth it was uh, occlusal bevel. Okay, so these are the little difference for the anterior and the posterior teeth. So for proximal grooves, uh, place as facial as possible without undermining the labial enamel surface. So placement of the grooves so that they are parallel to the incisal one-third or two-third of the facial surface, just short of the finish line. So this is the important point. You see, this groove is finished 0.5 millimeter above the finish line. So you make it this proximal groove. For this proximal groove, we are using flattened tapered diamond bar. So two grooves should be parallel to each other. If proximal caries are present, then a box preparation should be made. Okay, if there is in proximal surface there is a caries, then you will make a box instead of the grooves. So narrow boxes are as to offer more resistance. So when you have done with the proximal grooves, the next feature you will provide is the proximal flare. So proximal flare will prevent the fracture of the enamel, because when you are making the proximal groove, there is a thin lip of enamel left behind. Okay, so so for this purpose we flare that area. Okay, so this is called proximal flare. So made and facial aspect of each groove with thin flame diamond bar. The enamel hatchet can be made if small flare is made, finishing to make a smooth flare with sharp, definite finish line. So when you have finished with the proximal groove, proximal flare, the third feature is the incisal offset. Okay, for posterior teeth we called it occlusal offset. For anterior teeth we called it incisal offset. So it is a definite step on sloping incisal surface placed near the opposing occlusal surface. It connects the proximal grooves. Okay, it extends from one proximal groove to the other proximal groove. It is inverted V shaped. Okay, as you see in this picture, you see this in this picture. This is the incisal offset. This is inverted V shape. This is incisal offset. So when you have done proximal groove, when you have done proximal flare, when you have done incisal offset, then the last feature which we will provide is the incisal bevel. So for posterior teeth, again we called it occlusal bevel, but for anterior teeth we called it incisal bevel. So 0.5 millimeter bevel placed between incisal edge and straight wall offset, okay, and perpendicular to the path of insertion along mesial inclines. So basically, there are four unique features which we will incorporate in the preparation of the partial veneer crown or partial coverage crown. What are those features? Like proximal groove, proximal flare, incisal offset, and incisal bevel. So now in this picture, you see the completed uh, preparation. We have completed the preparation for the partial coverage crown, and you see all features. So first of all, you will provide the chamfer finish line. Chamfer finish line will provide the marginal integrity, periodontal preservation. The axial wall reduction will provide retention resistance, periodontal preservation, structural durability. So lingual reduction will provide structural durability. Incisal offset will provide structural durability. Incisal bevel will provide marginal integrity. Proximal flare provide marginal integrity, and proximal groove will provide the retention resistance and structural durability. So now there are certain modifications in anterior teeth as well, so that we will call the pin modified 3/4 crown. So pin modified 3/4 crown, where we need more retention, then we will prepare the pin holes. Okay, but it depends upon the caries as well. The caries present as well. Okay, so may not be feasible to prepare the conventional 3/4 crown pin modified or 3/4 crown pin modified 3/4 crown 3/4 the like the pin modified 3/4 crown preserves facial surface and proximal surface. So margin placement is minimal subgingival, so it is periodontal preferable, excellent retainer for short span fixed partial dentures and a splint, and used for restoration for canines, incisors, and swale lingual abrasion. So the pin modified 3/4 crown we will give in certain areas where we need extra retention. So we will incorporate the pin holes. So now see how we will made. First of all, the contraindications for this preparation, like carious or restored teeth, surfaces which are not to be covered, extensive carious mouth, small teeth, thin teeth, mal-opposed teeth, and teeth with large pulp. So in these, we cannot give the uh, pin preparations, okay, because pin placement will comes near to the pulp and it can cause pulp damage. So these are the contraindications for the pin modified 3/4 crown. So less retentive than conventional 3/4 crown, the retention is increased by increasing number and depth of the diameter of the pin. So striated pins provide more retention than smooth pins. Pins should be at least 2 to 3 millimeter long. So we will drill a pin hole 2 to 3 millimeter inside the tooth. So short pin decrease retention and cause failure of restoration. These pin holes a channel of oral fluids and microorganism, causing severe tooth damage. So preparation for the lingual surface is same as for the preparation for the partial coverage crown, that the area between the cingulum and the incisal edge you will reduce with the flame shape bar. Okay, so because again this modified 3/4 crown we made in all metal, so we need 1 millimeter reduction. So concave reduction to produce 0.7 millimeter clearance, avoid excessive shortening of the vertical wall. Then incisal bevel parallel to the uncut surface, usually 1.5 millimeter wide, may vary according to the thickness of the incisal edge, should stop lingual to labio-incisal line angle and to prevent the metal display. So the lingual axial reduction, again you will use the torpedo burr because we will made again in the all metal materials. So for all metal we will provide the chamfer finish line. For that purpose you are using the torpedo burr. So lingual reduction, the area between the cingulum and the incisal edge you are using the flame shaped bar. Okay, and the area above the cingulum you will use torpedo bar because you have to provide the chamfer finish line. So when you have done with the lingual reduction, then come on the proximal surfaces, mesial distal. First of all, break the contact if adjacent teeth are present with a needle shaped burr, and then you reduce the mesial and the distal surface 1 millimeter with the help of torpedo burr, because again you will provide the chamfer finish line on the mesial and the distal surface. So when you have done with the lingual reduction, when you have done with the proximal reduction, mesial distal, and you will provide the chamfer finish line, then you will give the proximal axial reduction. So primary axial retention resistant features grooves. So as you see in this picture, two grooves are placed next to edentulous space, okay, and proximal surface caries or restored box in is prepared. So for facial groove is first place followed by the lingual groove. As you see in this picture, shallow pilot grooves are first made and checked for the location and the direction, followed by preparing grooves to full depth. The third, much shorter groove is placed opposite to the cingulum. So this groove enhances the restoration, resistance, retention, and accommodates the bulk of the margin and reinforce the margin. So when you have done with the pinhole preparations, as you see in this picture, the grooves. So now comes the flare. So flare should be wider incisally than gingivally, nearly eliminate the facial wall of the groove at the incisal end, and finish line should not be round over. So when you have making the proximal groove, when you have finished with the proximal flare, then preparing the ledges. So with a tapered fissure burr, you make a ledge where you make the groove. So the incisal corner opposite to the site of the proximal groove, it must be gingival to the incisal edge, indenting and lingual to finish line. Provide easy start for placement of the pinholes and create a space for reinforcing metal, another ledge placed in middle of the cingulum. So basically these ledges are made in the area where we want to make a pinhole. So these ledges around the pinhole area. So preparing the offset now, when you have done with the proximal groove, proximal flare, the ledge around the area of the pinhole, and then again you preparing the offset. Okay, offset again the incisal offset as you see in this picture. This is the incisal offset. Okay, this is the incisal offset, and you see the area. This area is ledge. This is also ledge preparation. Okay, and these are the proximal grooves. Okay, so the incisal ledge and the facial most proximal groove are connected with a burr. A V-shaped puff is cut along the lingual surface from the incisal edge to the short cingulum groove. So that is called the incisal offset. So when you have done with the proximal groove, proximal flare, ledge preparation, then you have done with the incisal offset. The last feature is the incisal bevel. So incisal bevel, angle between the offset and the incisal edge to cut to surface is beveled. Bevel should not be extended facially as it will cause metal display. So it is blended to the flare, and bevel is redefined on the marginal ridge next to the incisocingulum trough. So now you see in this picture the prepared pin modified 3/4 partial veneer crown. You see the chamfer finish line all around. It will provide the marginal integrity, periodontal preservation. The pinholes and the ledge provide retention and resistance. The proximal grooves will provide retention and resistance, structural durability. The proximal flare will provide marginal integrity. Incisal offset will provide structural durability. Incisal bevel provide marginal integrity. Pinhole and ledge will provide retention and resistance. Trough, which we will create, provide structural durability, and lingual reduction provide structural durability. The proximal grooves will provide retention, resistance, structural durability, and the axial reduction will provide retention, resistance, periodontal preservation, and structural durability. So all these features we will incorporate in the preparation for the pin modified 3/4 partial coverage crown for anterior teeth. So you are welcome to ask any question. You are welcome to ask any question. Okay, welcome everyone.